Hey everybody, and welcome to another model building workshop. I'm Mr. Allen, coming to you from Providence, Rhode Island, part of the Community Libraries of Providence. And today I'm going to work on assembling the 63 Stingray from AMT models and 32nd scale. So what I had done is I had pre-painted a lot of the pieces already. So there's the seats, and I got the body ready to go, and we'll start working on some stuff here. It's a pretty straightforward instruction sheet. There's not a whole lot to this kit. I think I was showing you the other day on one of the videos what these look like built and how the kids are working on them. So I'm just going to see how this one goes together now. Let's take a look. Like I said, the teens did not have much problem putting these together. Oops. Let me pause this while I try to unstick this glue. Okay. So I'm going to try to glue the steering wheel, which is a chromed part. Don't know how I feel about a chrome steering wheel. I know it was done. So did some details to that before. Let's see how this thing pops in. I think it pops in to the console. Like so. Alright, let me, oops, scrape some paint out of the way so I can drop this thing in. Oops. And I got some masking tape in the way here. If I can just get that masking tape out. Yeah. Made it a little easier. I masked some of the sections in advance. Gotta scrape a little bit of paint here. Not too much. Draw that out a little bit better. Let me scrape some paint on the sides here. Did I mask that? No, I didn't mask that well. We'll just use the handy dandy file. Now this kit, as I showed you in the previous video, was molded in white, and I noticed a lot of car models tended to do that, and that's good and bad. What's good about it, it makes a pretty good starting point for painting. What's bad is if you're working with kids or somebody that wants to build and not have to paint very much, it makes it difficult because everything needs to be painted pretty much unless you're doing it as a white car. And a lot of kids tend to like a model kit that is molded in a color that they can work with to make painting easier or requiring less paint. But for an adult, we're probably going to paint it anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter. And it makes for a decent thing to work with. And what's been popular in a lot of kits now is, it goes, it pops right in. You know, molding it in a gray plastic tends to be a pretty good primer color to start with. And a lot of other companies like Tamiya and Fine Molds tend to use like a yellowish color or a tanned as a base, which isn't bad either. Anyway, I digress. This is going to pop in. We're going to get the clear window in there. I'm going to see how that works out. Come on, you. There we go. Test fit this puppy, see how it works. There are two tabs on the inside, two pins. Okay. I am noticing an issue here. Oh, maybe not. You can pretty much pop it right in there, see? But I had painted the entire interior, so I'm going to need to do a little bit of scraping to get this to fit nicely. Get some masking tape still sitting in here. Let me clean some of that up, And I'll turn the camera off for a minute because that's going to be boring to watch. So give me a second here. Okay, let's see how this goes now. Kind of had to scrape some of the paint out of here, kind of like a dental hygienist. And we'll see how this works out. Because I'm noticing that the side windows on this are opened. All right, let's hope that's enough glue to hold that window in there. Doesn't give you a whole lot really to glue and attach to. Hope that's going to be enough. Back window, this could definitely be on tighter. Not sure I like how the back sits on there. Well, it's not bad. I don't know if you can really get a sense of the window in there. There's that. And then you put this tub in. Try to get this tub in there. Let's hope there's enough to adhere to. Kind of pops in. Scrunch that in. Extra cement in there. And hope that that's enough. So there we go. And it does look like you're going to get a good view of the inside on this one. Some of these cars, I did the Volkswagen Beetle by Airfix, and the glass was so poor that you really couldn't see the interior at all. This one, you actually see quite a bit of the interior. So something to think about when you build this. You're going to want that dashboard painted because you can actually see in there pretty well. All right, so that gets that part. And now we've got some... This is going to be done very quickly. So we've got the taillight assembly and the rear bumper. Seems like it jumps pretty quickly here, but all right. So we get this part. All right, see that's going to drop there. Let's take a look. Got to figure out how this is going to go. I think it's going to be this piece here. I'll try to carefully cut that off. The attachment points on this kit, some of them are kind of large, and which makes it a little challenging if you're going to be working with chrome. But at least they have the attachment points facing the interior of the car, so it's going to be, it's not the outside of the chrome that you would see, it's inside where it's going to be hidden up against the body of the car, so that's a bonus. All right, so to get the right angle on this. Does this go up that way? Yeah, I guess it goes like that. Yeah, all right. Our bumper's going to sit in there. So I think what I need to do is sand some of this chrome out of the way so I can get a surface that will allow me to glue. They don't really tell you that in the instructions that I could see, that the chrome plating is difficult to cement. You really want to bond the plastic, not the plating. The glue doesn't necessarily... Oh, Jesus, it's going to go everywhere. That's like glitter. And me covered in little sparkles. Gonna look like I've been to Vegas. Yeah. And then scrape some of this paint off here. You know what? Again, let me pause this. Okay, so a little bit of sanding, a bit of cleanup. I could try to place these tail lights in there. They're done in chrome. Don't really know if they needed to be, in a sense, because you're going to be painting these tail light sort of color. You know, the orange and red and whatnot. Alright, whoops. This is a bit tricky to get it in there. Yeah. Okay, that's not working the way I wanted it to. Drill these holes a little bit more for the a little tricky to get this in there. It's also on an angle facing downward, so it makes it a little trickier to drop this thing in right. Ah. It's a tad tricky getting them in there. And that's because of the chrome. You gotta scrape and clear that out so you can get it in. Now there's the front chrome piece that's going to go on there. There's very little left to do. And the wheel parts and the front grille here. Let me see if I can clip this grille out. Let's see how that sits. Doesn't give me the clearest indication. Yeah, think like that. That could fit better. That's a bit snug. That could fit a lot better. Oh, I think I got it. Just kind of pops and sits in there. I'll have to figure out how I'm going to glue that. That kind of pops in. That goes back there. Just want a little bit. Take a little bit of paint off. Not much. Sounds of warmer weather outside. You know the weather's good when you hear the motorcycles. Okay, there. Let me try to get that cleaned up. Hang on. Okay, let's see what we're doing now. So that's there. We look at putting the top onto the bottom here. Yeah, makes me a bit nervous. Place here. Oof. Oh. All right, if you'll get the taillights lined up correctly, it pops in pretty good in the back. Gonna pop in the front. I opted not to glue that at the moment because I get the feeling I may have to go in there and make some repairs later. I know the tires were not the best thing on this model from the previous ones that we had built. I'm going to put the chrome in. Both the tires are a bit of a disappointment. The detail's not particularly good on them. And the way the whole wheel assembly fits in isn't the greatest either. Well, at least the ones the kids were doing, they were kind of wobbly. There might be a way of gluing these things in that might make them settle down better. With a lot of sanding, you can get the chrome to the point where you can put the wheel together. And they're supposed to just pop in. Yeah, which they do. Okay. Let's see how successful I am with them. Actually, they don't seem that bad. Alright, that was really wobbly. Come on. I noticed I should have painted the let's put the chassis better. Naturally, the last one doesn't want to go in. Save the worst for last, right? Alright, yeah, the rear tires are not the greatest. Well, I don't know, it's not that bad. I think the rear tires are a little bit awkward. Anyway, so here you have it. I just got the whole thing pretty much built right then and there. Some other touch-up paint to do. Not much. And I might consider whether or not I'm going to put racing numbers on that. I don't know yet. Doesn't look too bad as is. I'll put this down and take some good pictures of it at the end of this so you can see it. Anyway, so that's today's model building workshop, and here's our 63 Stingray. Alright, take good care, keep on building.